So I'm gonna do the corpse run. So I'm exiting the harbor. We'll run the zones and try to avoid everything and not die. Dying sucks. Dying sucks a lot less when you're a bard and you're... So those are the spiders. These guys like to root and snare. They're in combat right now, so I'm just gonna run past them. Creepy motherfuckers. But there's a ton of them up on this fucking hill, so... Like this dude's just troll... I was gonna say trolling, but he's just padding, so... I want to avoid that. Oh god, they're everywhere. I'm gonna swim across. Because I need to go up this river. That sucks, poor guy. Not only does it take you like a long time to get back to your corpse, but then... Oh, god damn it. God damn it. But then you lost XP, and then... You know, it takes a little while to gather up all the mobs, and... Oh my god, this is a... Jesus Christ. I just feel like I'm gonna die again. If I die again, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. It's devastating to fucking die on your way back from dying. Where the fuck is this river? You know, a lot of things I can outrun because I am a bard and I have the run speed song. Oh, Jesus Christ, I got spooked. The run speed song. But these spiders will root you, and there's no running. And then they'll murder you, especially if you're naked. And root, you know, just seems to last forever. It never breaks. You're just gonna be rooted till they fucking kill you. It could break, but but you're gonna have to last a long time, a lot longer than I'm gonna, especially naked. So luckily now I'm a little higher. I was leveling in Lake of Ill Omen, which is where we're gonna zone in right now. I was leveling here from like 20 to 25. So running through here to do a corpse run when I was 20, those things are dark red, just ready to murder me, aggroing from across the zone and whatnot. But now that I'm higher, I'm all the way to 30. You know, I got a little leniency there. So I'm slower without my drum. I don't have any gear. Naturally, I'm doing the corpse run. All my gear's there. So a little bit slower, still fast. So now we're in Lake of Ill Omen. I'm gonna have to run to Frontier Mountains. Lake of Ill Omen connects to 2 zones. Frontier Mountains, well, 3, including the Ixar City, which I'm kill on sight there, so I can't go anywhere near that. But it connects to Firiona Vie, where we just came from, and then Frontier Mountains, which we got to go through Frontier Mountains to get to the Overthere, which is where I'm going. So I just got to avoid mobs. These aren't too high, so it should be relatively easy. That one's green. This one's green, so it's not too bad. But in Frontier Mountains, it's a mountainous area, and they have a bunch of just hill giants and other things. And there, come on, bros. There they are reds, blue to red. So I just gotta avoid those. And they run fast too. Giants run fast. Anything large runs fast. So I can't really kite them. I wish I could kite giants. Giants are worth a lot of money. They drop like, not only do they drop platinum, but they drop nice weapons, like vendor trash weapons, but they're worth a lot. But the thing is, I can't kite them. They're soloable by like necromancers, shamans, probably a druid slowly, and maybe even a ranger slowly. You gotta just dot them and root them and snare them. I can't really outrun them, so if I'm trying to kite them in circles, they'll catch me and they'll just bash me. I beat one, or I mean I killed one. It's not that hard, but I can't grab like a group of them and do it because I can't outrun them. They'll just constantly hit me. Anyways, and soloing, not ideal for a bard. I should be doing other stuff. If I was another class, like a warrior or something, I mean, you could solo them and then just regenerate, but it's really slow. But that's pretty much EverQuest for most classes. So a lot of people spend time in dungeons. Outdoor zones like this, usually it's just like the 1x experience. But indoor zones like caves and dungeons and whatnot, they get bonus XP all the way up to 200. Like some dungeons are double XP, but it's always indoor zones. It's just how the game's set up, so it encourages going into dungeons, and so you can find a lot of groups there and stuff. I recently went to a dungeon. Where'd I go? Whatever's in Greater Fate Arc, Lower Fate Arc. I don't recall the name of it. I forget right now. But Castle Mistmore. You know, it was okay, but it's hard to be a bard and then want a group. So now we're in Frontier Mountains. We'll see giants and shit, and there's some like shaman goblin shamans, and they'll fucking root you too, so it's super annoying. So I'm gonna avoid that. It's so sad to see people's corpses. I just saw this person actually. Off stream or whatever. Somebody trained me with that rhino, so like I don't know if you saw the other video, but there was a train that went to zone, and it was like a rhino and a Sarnak. And then in between making videos, I was standing there AFK doing some stuff and on the internet, and somebody trained a rhino again. And it was far away, so I was like, okay, same as last time. It's across the road. It won't aggro on me. But then lo and behold, out of nowhere, I hear myself getting hit, so I go back and I look, and for some reason, this time it decided to run at me and aggro me. So I zoned out, and then I was sitting there regenerating and still doing stuff on the internet. And then I saw that person zone out, and then they ran by, and then now we see him here dead. So they're really close to the zone line, but that's the sad part. I always feel bad when I see people die like 3 feet from the zone line. It's like, you almost made it. Now, this level's a little crazy. It's the mountains, so there's tons of hills. People like to come through here with levitate and different things like that, because you can come over this mountain and then bam, there's a giant in your face. Kind of like that, but far worse. This looks like a Shadow Knight. He's got a pet. And he's just soloing him. But you can see here, he's actually a red to me. So get this, the mob is blue. The player is a red to me. But the player still gets his ass beat, you know? It's just how the game is. You don't really, it's not like WoW and where WoW's kind of like Diablo style now, where you're just AoEing everything. Everything's just getting AoE down. You're just cleaving. Every class pretty much has some sort of AoE. And you're just mobbing through stuff. It's just, WoW kind of has gone the direction of ARPG. Which, to me, you know, if I feel like playing that, I'll play Diablo. Or Path of Exile, really, but it is what it is. I like the slow pace of this. Some people probably don't like the slow pace. But I think MMOs should have a slow pace to it, but I get what they're doing. They're, you know, trying to make money off of kids, and kids don't have attention spans and that whole mess, but I like the slow pace. when it comes to MMOs, but to each their own. So I kind of have memorized this because I've done enough corpse runs and regular runs. When I go back to the city or something to do something else, I will make a run back out here. This is the way I go. So we are almost to the zone line. There's no map in this game. I mean, if you push M, it just says the map has been disabled on this server. But what it really means is back during these times there was no map. Since then they have added a map in Retail EverQuest. There's a map. Retail EverQuest has gone the same. Not the same as WoW, but you know, all games take a dive eventually. So currently in EverQuest you can like hire a mercenary like Diablo, but the mercenary is like super powerful. Not super, well, it depends. So basically you can get a healer, a tank, or a DPS. So whatever you are, you can get a mercenary to do the opposite to help you out. So you can have a tank, if you're just like a DPS, like a rogue or something, you can have a tank the whole time and you're just like backstabbing the shit out of stuff. But, you know, the game's old and they have 25 expansions and nobody plays, so you can't really group. So just to make the game survive with what little money they can make, they kind of almost are forced to do that because nobody's going to play if you simply can't level. So this is going to be the zone line to the Overthere, and this is kind of why I like to kite by the zone. So my body's right there. I don't have to run any further or through any kind of mobs. And again, for the fact that you try not to get ads. That's the thing with kiting, is you're always trying to like not get ads, and sometimes you don't have a choice. Like when I was in Lake of Ill Omen, there's not really that great of a spot, and stuff kind of spawns on you, or stuff paths a very wide area. So you're running in circles, and then stuff just pats into you. So if it's threatening towards you, it'll just jump in the group. Or you might accidentally hit things that aren't threatening. You'll accidentally hit them with your AoE. But the worst case scenario is when it's threatening and you kind of don't see it coming, and then it aggroes on you and it bashes you, and then the group catches up to you, and then they all hit you, and then you die. So ads are bad. And then in this case, there's the Rhino ad that runs really fast that I don't really want to deal with. So the run wasn't too bad. We're a little over 13 minutes, so kind of like what I said, from town to town, or that might have been earlier, about a 15-minute run. So in this game, you can loot corpses. Other people's kills. Which is kind of cool. So if you're just a player starting out, and there's like a rich dude on an alt and he's just killing stuff and not looting the corpses, you can loot him and get whatever little money off of them, which is pretty cool. There's a time limit. You can't just loot it right away. I wanted to see something here, but that's it. So that is something you'll have to do every time you die. I lost the 5% XP, but I mean, look, I'm not rich. This thing sells for 3 platinum that I just read, so I'm gonna loot it. This thing sells for 4 gold, so I'm just gonna delete that or throw it on the ground, and I'll loot that. It's 3 platinum, whatever. So there are reses in this game, and you can get a res. It's hard to get a res when you're leveling. There's only so many classes that can res, like Paladin, Cleric, Druid, I think, and Shaman, maybe? I don't even remember anymore. But Paladin, Cleric for sure. I think Druid and Shaman. And then that about sums it up. And then they have percentages of res. So a cleric is going to have the highest. And I know if the cleric gets their epic weapon, they have a clicky 96% res. They might have a spell that's 96%. I don't know if it's in this one. Maybe it came later in a later expansions or something. But the lower you are, the lower the percentage it gives back, and then the higher you are, the higher percentage it gives back. So 96 is pretty good. If you lose 5%, you'll get 96% of that experience back. That doesn't make you want to die, but when you're leveling, you generally lose about 10% at my level. Right now it's a hell level, like I was saying, so I'm losing half because I'm gaining half. But so you can beg, you can ask like, hey, does anybody in this zone give me a res? But usually you have to donate or tip or whatever, and you're gonna make them come all the way to you, or you can tell them at the zone line. But there's actually 33 people in this zone, which is actually a lot. I'm sure somebody here, reses, but you could always ask where they are, and then you can drag your corpse. So you could do / corpse drag, I think, and then make it a hotkey, and then just spam it and run to wherever they tell you they are. You can do / location, and use your sense heading, and you're going north, and you just find your way there by using maps on the P99 wiki or EverQuest Atlas. Or if you just know where they are, they might be at a camp, like a known camp, and you know how to get there, so you just run there. That's probably the best bet, and you can just tip them something pretty cheap. Sometimes it's worth it. If I wasn't getting the XP you get from kiting, it might be worth it. If you're grouping, you'll probably have a healer, and if you have a healer, they'll res you, so that's nice. But that's what happens when you die. I wasn't too far. Sometimes you're on the different continent, and you got to take a boat, and you got to wait for the boat. That's a whole 30 minutes in its own, not even counting running to the boat and then from the boat wherever you died. So my character was bound, I guess, at the harbor, right? And so where I was bound before was Freeport, and then you'd have to take a boat from Freeport to that harbor, Firiona Vie, and then you would run here. So if I didn't find somebody to bind me at that harbor, then I would have had to wait for the boat, which is, the trip itself is 15 minutes. So depending on how long you're waiting for the boat, and then it gets there, and then it's a 15-minute ride, and then you get here, and then you got to run all that way. So I mean, a corpse run could be like an hour ordeal. If you're a caster, you can bind yourself places. So I could bind myself right here at the zone line, and then die here, and then load here, and just get my body, which is nice. But I'm not a caster, so everybody has their stuff. Anyways, that sucked.